Hi, everybody. My name's Skaji.
I'm Magna.
I'm Stevie.
And we're happy to welcome you to yet another Tea and Tarot Card of the Month Podio.
We're done. I quit. We're out of here.
There we go.
Podio. We're sticking with that. Okay.
So we're glad you're here. You can join us in person on the first Friday night of the month at 6 p.m. right here at Books, Beans, and Candles in Birmingham, Alabama for our in-person Tea and Tarot event. Mm-hmm. And on the third Friday at 6 p.m. at Sips and Stars. That's our interactive astrology event. And on the fourth Monday at 6 p.m., that's Magic City Pagans. It's a different discussion topic each month. They're always a lot of fun because it is a very interactive discussion kind of thing. And I think that's what we got right now.
That's all the events we have right now.
That's all we got on the calendar. But you can always find out more about those things on the shop's website, as well as our social medias, as we do all of those socially media-y things.
The book face, the Instagrams, TikToks. TikTok.
And you do a lot of that TikTok-y kind of stuff, don't you?
Yeah, you see my face on the TikTok more than ever.
So our card of the month this time is the Page of Wands. And I should probably do the thing so you can actually see the card. Wow. And what we can see here is a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card. Wands is that element of fire. And we kind of decided on this card because it felt really fire. And we've got midsummer coming up, which is the height of summertime, at least here in the northern hemisphere. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of fire going on with this card. I see the pages as also associated with fire. Can be kind of impulsive, but full of energy, kind of like the teenagers of the tarot deck.
Lots of vitality, yeah.
And Stevie kind of sees the pages as
more of a student-y kind of vibe. They want to be masters of their respective suits, but they don't know anything quite yet, or they know some things, but not enough to claim mastery over it. So.
And what we see on this Rider-Waite-Smith card on his tunic is a lot of little squigglies that are actually salamanders, which have traditionally been used as the creatures of fire itself, having to do with transformation. And in this one, he's in the desert. In the back, we've got those could be ant hills, those could be pyramids, but we have a very
spice
dry...
mounds.
Spice mounds. Very, very desert or heat-oriented kind of thing. Yeah. The next card is...
Look at this cool stick I found.
That's always fun, finding a cool stick.
I think you're a wizard.
I am a wizard.
The bog wizard.
And that card there is from one of your decks. Marga, tell me about that.
Yeah, so this is the After Tarot. I know I used this one Tea and Tarot Podio recently. It's very much intertwined with the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it is all the stuff that comes after the fact. You've done the things, you've asked the questions, you've put in the time and effort. So here's what happens after that initial reading. And so you see a lot of the same similarities from how he's dressed, the little red feather in his cap, the stick in his hand. But now we see that he's really put in the work. He's put in that time to collect all the hay bales. And he's tired of this grandpa. So he has left his wife and is off to a new journey. Very hot-headed.
To get milk and cigarettes or whatever.
And so, why did you look at me when you said grandpa? So anyway. And the thing with the After Tarot, there's another deck called the Before Tarot, and so you could lay those out, one after the other, and kind of see a progression of scenes, almost like a little movie going on. But I like the ideas of these decks because it gives you an idea of continuity. Because none of these cards, none of the things that they depict, it may be a still image, but it's not a static concept.
Right.
Yeah.
There is movement, and They all exist on a spectrum.
I love the nuances that the before and after tarot give as well, because some scenes don't play out the way you think they would.
And so this next card here is Stevie from one of your decks.
Yeah, it's from the Fyodor Pavlov deck. It is one of my favorites, honestly. I think the Page of Wands is kind of like an art student in a lot of regards. He has so much passion and creativity and like drive to do the things. And I like here in particular, he has his little lute to play a little song. He had never played that lute before though, in an earnest sense. So there's a lot of the having to get with the learning curve and get good. Sometimes through spite, because we have the fire element here. But also there's kind of that playfulness and that joy in the process of learning these things. And here too, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, and Fyodor Pavlov can correct me because he's on social medias, this one tends to, I think, switch the fire and air kind of elements with the swords and the wands respectively, which in this case I'm not really mad at, even though I don't overly agree with it or vibe with it a lot of the time. For like the Page of Wands being more airy seems very kind of on par. Especially with him being like kind of musically inclined in this particular card, that sense of lyricism and kind of the cerebral quality of having to strike out and do these things is really interesting. So.
Yeah.
And there are multiple decks that do swap the elements around or bring in other aspects of elements into a card, and there's no right or wrong in that. It really has to do with how one approaches the concepts behind those elemental suits. And it's easy enough to incorporate various aspects of that into your readings, regardless of how the deck deals with those things.
And now, to be fair, that could just be me misreading it because of the colors used. He might just be like, wands are green now, so and swords are red, so
It's sort of greenish yellow.
is
Mom,
a
I don't
vibe.
want to be a doctor. I just want to play my lute in the town square.
And speaking of lutes, this one doesn't have a lute, but this is from the Pulp Tarot, and the Page of Wands. We have those fire things in there, but she's got a different kind of look on her face.
It's giving me like Devil Wears Prada.
it's
kind
a
of
work, bitch. Very like fashion couture kind of thing.
Well, and there's almost a sense of haughtiness and arrogance to it that many of us exhibited when we were younger at that page kind of starting out kind of stage, where we get just enough that we think we know things.
We're feeling ourselves.
And but again, we also have, those are definitely pyramids in the background, and so we're bringing in some of these connections from this card here.
We also have that salamander on our dress too.
The salamander as well. So, but this has a little bit more of that. It feels more arrogant or full of ourselves. And this from the Wildwood Tarot. Bows is what they call wands in this deck. And this is the stoat. So stoats, if you don't know, are members of the weasel family. And in this case, I like the expression of this card because there's some water in the background, and that waterfall appears in aspect in other cards, and so it links a lot of things together. But in this case, we can think of the pages as being very flexible, and weasels are known for being flexible, bendy kinds of creatures. But they also they're hunters, and so we have that sort of fire aggression kind of vibe going on there as well. But I like the fact that the image itself is not an environment that is dry.
No.
And
it also feels a lot more serene than a lot of the other Page of Wands kind of embodies.
Yeah. And then maybe like a left field interpretation, but weasels and stoats and kind of that, depending on where you pull your sources from, they are also associated with like Hecate, so you have like that liminal vibe too, that transition period of things. Again, maybe left field interpretation of it, but if it's that connection you have, I think it is also kind of Page of Wands in certain regards too.
And that's something when we see animals in the tarot, it can be helpful to not just read what the book has to say, or but also to read, actual, what is this animal like in real life, and understanding how that animal lives its life, the environment in which it lives, and how it does its thing, can help inform our interpretations of the card in that deck. This next card here is from the Urban Tarot, and the Urban Tarot by Robin Scott is a very Crowley-style deck. And in that deck, in the Crowley system, there are no kings. So you've got princess, prince, queen, and king. And the princess... Knight. Because there's no kings.
There's no kings.
So the princess fills the role of the page in that deck, and in that kind of hierarchy. And there are some different vibes on that, because in that deck, the princesses are associated with the element of earth.
Okay.
As opposed to fire, how I normally interpret them. But in this case, it's called the dancer. And we could think of that as, especially in this case, a sort of burlesque dancer playing with fire. There's a lot of
so hot.
It really plays into the sensuality of...
Yeah, the sensuality of it, and as well as that, it's a sense of confidence, being comfortable in our own skin.
Also danger a little bit, or the kind of readiness to take on things that can be riskier.
Yeah. And, because you wouldn't catch me dancing without my shirt on, and nobody wants to see that. Really, you don't.
You just have to find your niche, that's all.
How do we, Stevie, how do you normally interpret, or what is a common interpretation of the Prince of Wands for you?
Obviously, everything depending on context of the reading, but I feel like it always has, or mostly has, the sort of energy of, girl, just do it. There's almost that sense of wanting to take action or needing to take action, and at least get your hands dirty with the experience of it. Taking a lot of... Because to me, the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands kind of hold hands. There's a lot of the emotional, the emotionality of things that are rife within both of them. But I think whereas the Page of Cups just wants to sit and be in them a little bit, the Page of Wands nah, we doing it. And so there is kind of that reckless abandon sometimes, or if nothing else, that sense of just joyful creation or manifestation or whatever actions you're taking. But it's overall a very playful card. Reverse, it does kind of have I'm going to succeed through spite, damn it kind of vibe, which is also, in a reading, is fun. I don't know how it applies to the person asking the question, but it's fun as a reader to be like, yeah, dude, just fuck it up or whatever.
For me, the Page of Wands, I see myself a lot in this card, because it always has the energy to me of I discovered this new hobby, and I gotta be perfect at it right here, right now, and if I'm not, I'm gonna burn it all to hell.
I'm going to explode.
And the Page of Wands, like you were saying, Stevie, can often come across as a hold my beer, watch this kind of card.
There's a volatility to it, definitely.
And but it does also have that, let me completely invest myself in this thing.
We gotta go right now.
And I would associate the Page of Wands, if I were to give it a single keyword, it would be drive.
Yeah.
It's very much that sort of desire and driven kind of energy that goes forward. Anything else?
No. I
think that about does it then. So we want to thank you for joining us once again for our Tea and Tarot Card of the Month. You can always join us in person here at Books, Beans, and Candles in Birmingham, Alabama on the first Friday of the month at 6 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you again. Safe journeys.
Bye.
An order came in. I also forgot to bring that fucking trash bag up here, so
It's fine.
I still gotta count the register down.
Thank you, KT. I'll fix it in post.
Yep.
no idea where we were.